Okay, day 5.5, homework solutions. We're given a trinomial equation, y equals x squared minus 8x plus 7. And we're asked to find the y-intercept, the x-intercepts, the axis of symmetry, and the vertex. So as before, the easiest one to figure out is the y-intercept. It's simply this value right here of 7. Put that in here. Our x-intercept, or zeros, we need to factor in order to get that. So we're looking for a number which multiplies together to be 7 and adds together to be -8. And those values happen to be -7 and -1, which makes our x-intercepts +7 and +1. Our axis of symmetry we can get by adding 7 plus 1 and dividing by 2, which gives us a value of 4. And then we come to our vertex. Now the vertex is the pointy end, but it's related to the axis of symmetry in that the axis of symmetry goes right through the vertex. In fact, the value of the axis of symmetry, in this case 4, is the x value of the vertex. So let me say that again. The value of the axis of symmetry, in this case x equals 4, is the x value of the vertex coordinate. So if we take that value of 4 and we plug it back into our equation, we can get the y value of the coordinate. So we'll take that 4, we'll plug it into the equation, and we'll end up with a value of -9 for y. So our vertex is 4, -9. And this is what the graph looks like. Our next question, we're given a trinomial of -x squared plus 2x plus 3. Our y-intercept is going to be 3. And our x-intercept we're going to figure out by factoring -x squared plus 2x plus 3. Now, this -x squared can be a little bit problematic when we're trying to factor a trinomial. So what we do is we take a common factor of -1, or -1 is kind of implied right here. And we put it right at the front, and then we factor the rest of the equation. So -x squared becomes negative bracket x squared minus 2x minus 3. So if we multiply this negative times this trinomial, we'd be right back to here again. But by doing this, now we don't have any negative in front of our x squared, and we can just factor this the way we did the rest of the trinomials. So now we're looking for a number which multiplies to -3 and adds to -2, and those two numbers happen to be -3 and +1, which makes our x-intercepts +3 and -1. Our axis of symmetry is halfway between -1 and 3, so by adding them together and dividing by 2, we get an axis of symmetry which is 1. This axis of symmetry becomes the x value of our vertex. So the x value of our vertex is 1. And if we take that 1 and plug it back into our equation, we'll find out what the y value is of the vertex. So here we go. Plug that 1 in and come up with a value of 4 for y. So our vertex is 1, 4. And this is what our graph looks like. Now, because there's a negative in front of the x squared, our parabola faces downwards. Question 3. Our trinomial is y equals x squared minus 2x minus 8. Again, our y-intercept is just going to be this number right here, negative 8. To get our x-intercepts, we have to factor x squared minus 2x minus 8. So we're looking for a number that multiplies to negative 8 and adds to negative 2. And those pair of numbers happen to be 2 and negative 4, which makes our x-intercepts negative 2 and positive 4. Our axis of symmetry we can get by adding these two numbers together and dividing by 2. Gives us an axis of symmetry of 1. This value right here becomes the x value of our vertex. So we'll take that 1, we'll plug it back into our equation here, and this will give us the y value. The y value ends up being negative 9, so our vertex is 1, negative 9. This is what the graph looks like. And again, the axis of symmetry goes right through the middle of the vertex. Our next question, our trinomial is x squared minus 4x minus 5. Our y-intercept is negative 5. Our x-intercepts we get by factoring the trinomial, looking for a number that multiplies together to be negative 5 and adds together to be negative 4. That pair of numbers happens to be 1 and negative 5, which means that our intercepts will be negative 1 and positive 5. Add these two intercepts together and divide by 2 to get our axis of symmetry. Ends up giving us a value of 2. 2 becomes the x value of the vertex. We take that 2, we plug it back into our equation to figure out what the y value is. And we end up with a value of negative 9 for y. So our coordinate of the vertex is 2, negative 9. And there's our graph.